Hello, my regulars, and welcome new listeners to the Reese on the Regular podcast. I'm so excited to be having Soph back on the podcast with me today.
Hey, guys.
This is like a full circle moment for us because when we filmed our first podcast about a year ago, we were just becoming friends at the time, and now, oh my God.
I can't believe it. It was a year ago, and we literally were barely even friends, and now our friendship has transformed so much.
So much.
Because we went abroad together, and now we just are besties.
Yes, we are. Oh my God. So I had to bring my girl on here to talk about all things girls and Galentines because Valentine's Day is here. And so we're both single and we want to help you guys out with navigating the single life during Valentine's Day, how to love the single life, solo dates, all that good stuff.
Tips and tricks.
Yeah, we're excited for this time of year. To start, I think we should talk about a couple of common misconceptions that people have around Valentine's Day.
Every time Valentine's Day comes around, everyone thinks it's this awful time where you're alone and things are so sad.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be like that at all. First of all, I've literally been single genuinely my entire life. I'm not kidding. I have obviously had situationships here and there, but nothing too crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Just all my life I've just learned to do things solo and love the solo life. It doesn't have to be this time of year where it's so sad and everyone's oh, you're alone, really, that's awful. It shouldn't be like that at all.
Plus it's one day for starters,
literally,
and you should use that day to either be with your girls or just be with loved ones. The day's about love. It's not about having a boyfriend or girlfriend or whoever it is. And half the time people in relationships aren't so happy. So, I mean, just be thankful to be surrounded by people that truly make you happy and show you love, and just, learn to celebrate it that way.
And definitely my favorite part about Valentine's Day is the whole new Galentine's vibe.
Yes.
Spending the holiday with your girls, or even if it's a guy's perspective, with the boys, so much better than any time with a significant other. Galentine's is the most fun thing ever. Even us right now wearing our pink,
Yes.
the hearts, all the decorations, you can go so many routes with Galentine's, having a little girls' night with drinks or arts and crafts. There's so many fun things to do that doesn't have to be this dwelling day,
Yeah, I'm personally more excited for the Galentine stuff. I think it's just the cutest time of year, and who knows, maybe I'll find myself on a little date, but I am more excited.
You totally will.
I'm more excited for just the girls and the pink and just to make some cocktails and chocolate-covered strawberries.
Chocolate-covered strawberries are the best.
The best. But I know it is a little different for guys. I mean, what do you think from a guy's perspective being single, how they can celebrate with the boys? It's kind of tough. I don't know.
Mean, I feel even when thinking about Valentine's from a guy's perspective, they don't really think of it all hyped up like we do, you know? They're oh, it's just another day, you'd spend it with your girlfriend, maybe get her some roses or something, but even from their perspective, if they didn't have a significant other like that, I don't think it would. I mean, obviously I can't speak for them, but I feel they wouldn't really care as much,
right?
Because all guys want to be single right now. I feel
I know.
Our age.
On the emotional side of things, this episode is for the girls, but guys, take note on what to do for the girls.
I love that.
Yes. So we'll get into dating tips for guys and all that after, but I think let's start on some solo dates just to give the girls some advice if they're single this Valentine's Day season. What advice do you have on solo dates and just experience with it in general?
Well, I'm a firm believer that even if it's not Valentine's Day season or Valentine's Day, you should be going on a solo date with yourself, literally at least once a week.
Yes, put it in the calendar once a week. I was just going to say that.
You have to make time for yourself because you are with yourself for your entire life.
Mm-hmm.
You are the main character in your life. You're always going to be just by yourself at the end of the day. Even if you have a significant other, you'll always have that time for yourself and with yourself. So you really need to be able to embrace being alone, embrace the solo life, and love your own company.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you can't love your own company, you'll never be able to love your company with somebody else. Really prioritizing a solo date at least once a week. I would love to do it 2 or 3 times
every day.
Every day.
I love spending time alone because I don't have any I don't have to impress anyone. I'm on my own schedule. I love solo dating, and that was a good point of like you really can't learn to love other people fully until you love yourself. So it really does teach you self-love. Make it fun. Like you can go on so many different solo dates. I know a lot of people feel uncomfortable sometimes like branching out like into like coffee shops and things on their own, but like I don't know, start small and just do something that you'd be excited to do on your own.
I think you need to start thinking of it from the perspective of everyone around you is in their own little world. Like no one is thinking about, oh my God, that girl's alone. They're thinking that girl is alone. I wish I could be alone. Like genuinely.
Yeah.
I find so much empowerment when I see people in coffee shops alone, going to like the mall alone, taking themselves out to dinner even. Like props to you. That is like genuinely my goal, like through and through, to be able to take myself out to dinner.
Right.
Oh my God.
That's like one thing, like, oh my God, you'll find me every day in a coffee shop alone, but like I've never taken myself out to dinner, and like why not? Like
me neither. I think that like needs to be on the bucket list because
yes.
honestly, putting yourself out of your comfort zone is so empowering. Like you can't stay comfortable in doing everything you're doing every single day. You're going to get too comfortable. Like you need to push yourself out of your comfort zone and make yourself uncomfortable because that's when you're really going to grow.
Yeah. I think one night me and you need to like same night go on a solo date but not together and just go to dinner and then be like, all right, let's like tell each other about it after.
Restaurant?
We just sit at different tables. Let's do it.
That would be
Get
so
myself
funny.
a nice filet, some wine. Like that sounds wonderful. Oh my
and
God.
like there's such a stigma around that of it being like this bad thing, which I like don't understand.
No.
Truly. When you think about it like down to the nitty gritty, that is so amazing. Like for you to be able to sit down and do something by yourself and be in your own company and feel comfortable doing that. That is so empowering and so amazing. Like you should be so proud of yourself for doing that. Even if it's not a date like for dinner, like it could be a coffee shop or even just like driving somewhere alone. Like the littlest of things, you should be like giving yourself a pat on the back for like, damn, I did this by myself. Like that's awesome.
Yeah, I would consider any sort of alone time doing something that actually like brings you happiness. Like even some days where I like go to a workout class or like the gym by myself, like that was like a treat to me. It wasn't like a chore, and just like the everyday things and just being able to go and do them on your own.
Yeah. Like Reese and I have been on this workout kick recently.
Yes.
New
year, new us.
Yes. We've been like trying out a ton of new workout classes, and then she recently started up work. So we haven't been able to go together.
So she doesn't like me anymore.
Really? Don't go to work. But seriously, she has been like doing her own thing, going to work, and like we haven't been on the same schedule of working out. And I could have taken that as like, oh, I'm not going to workout class with her anymore. I'm not going to go at all. But the fact that I'm like still pushing myself to go solo and do it without her is the step in the right direction. And even when I do go, I kind of try to look at it as not as, oh, I don't have someone here with me to like push me and motivate me. Like I can go by myself and not have to worry about pleasing other people, making sure I'm on their time, like just doing it, focusing on myself and myself only. Do not disturb on doing my thing, working out, and not like caring about if people are like walking into the studio and like being alone. Like everyone's gonna be like, yeah, girl.
Yep.
Not like, oh my God, you're alone. Like that's so stupid.
I know. It is something that you definitely have to get comfortable with first, because I remember like I did a class finally on my own. After work, I went to like a hot yoga class, and like I didn't know anyone in the class, and you kind of just like set up your stuff and do your own thing. And for some people that can be like very intimidating, but you kind of just have to learn to love being with yourself. Like that's really the only way to get through that, where it's just like, wow, like I did that for myself. Like, I don't know. It's such a great feeling.
Other people in the class are not paying attention to you being alone. Everyone is genuinely only like paying attention to themselves. And like, I'm a victim of that too. Like when I go, I'm only thinking about what's like in my mind, how I'm looking, what I'm doing, trying to like be aware of my surroundings. Cause like obviously there's other people, even not even in the workout class, in the restaurant, in the coffee shop, anywhere. I'm like thinking about other people. No one is paying attention to you.
No.
Like I hate to say it, but like genuinely no one is like, oh my God, that girl's doing that girl's doing this. Like they don't care, truly. Like everyone is just so focused on themselves. Everyone has like blinders on to what they're doing and how they're looking. No one is like thinking about you, you know?
And I feel like most of the time people who are afraid of that never find themselves like looking at other people and thinking that. So it's like, why do you think people would even think that about you, you know?
Like I would never sit there at a coffee shop like judging somebody else for doing something. So why would they do that to you?
Yeah, no,
you know?
I'm so like just on my own time and like focused on myself. I don't even notice if there's other people there on their own.
And if people are doing that, then like those aren't people that like you want to be surrounding yourself with, or that you want people to be in your life.
Right.
So like, who cares, you know?
Yeah. So take yourselves out on a solo date if you guys are alone this Valentine's Day, and I promise you're going to love it. And if you've never done it, this is a good step in the right direction, because it's not something that you should just be doing on Valentine's Day. It should be something that you carry with you throughout the year.
Yeah. And like, it doesn't have to be like this crazy long thing either. Like a quick 10 minutes, like sit down in Starbucks and just like push yourself out of your comfort zone for like half an hour. Like that's enough.
Yeah.
You know?
Obviously, for this whole solo dating perspective, you kind of need to have that self-love. Do you feel like that's something that has always come naturally for you, or is it something that you've had to like work on, improve over time, even still?
Yeah, I definitely have always been like a very extroverted, like confident person, but I definitely still work on it like here and there. Like there was like times where it is very, very high. I'm like, oh, I feel so great about myself. And then other times where I'm like, oh, I hate myself right now.
Yeah.
I always try to think about it in the perspective of, I would never be telling Reese or my other friends, like, you look so bad in this top. Like, I would never say that. So, like, why would I say that about myself?
Yeah.
You know? So, like, treating yourself with kindness, treating yourself how you would treat your friends, because, like, you deserve that same respect. Like, you deserve to be loved and appreciated. So, like, it's definitely not, like, a one and done. Like, I wake up and I'm like, oh, I love myself.
Love me.
No, like, it's not like that at all. But, like, this is who you are. Like, this is who you, like, you're in your skin forever, and learning to embrace that and just like love yourself every day. It's definitely a roller coaster, but it takes time to work at it.
Yeah, I also think if there's things that you don't love so much about yourself that are like on the negative side, like be willing to put in that effort to like turn those to a positive. Like if you genuinely feel like, oh, you're such a negative person, you lack that self-love for yourself, like yeah, work on like being more positive and just kind of, you know, making those changes for yourself, but doing it in like a positive way, I guess. Are there any specific like self-love practices or just like daily things that you do where you find like give yourself a little bit of like a confidence boost or just make you feel better about yourself?
Yeah.
Like if you're feeling a little bit like like, I don't know, like low, like is there anything that kind of brings you out of that?
I've recently gotten to a very good routine of like wake up, make my bed, skincare. And I feel like that has definitely made me feel like a little bit more put together, I would say. Because like when I used to like never do skincare, which like I cringe thinking about it. Like I wouldn't even wash my face.
Oh my God, water.
And it's like disgusting. But now I'm like taking care of myself more. So I feel like kind of switching into the mindset of taking care of my skin, taking care of like my hair, taking care of my body, working out more, eating healthy. That has like made me love myself more by like knowing I'm doing the right things for my body. It's just like it completely shifts my mindset into knowing like, oh, I'm taking that right step in the right direction of doing things that are going to better me. And then that immediately is making me like love myself more. If that makes sense.
No, I agree. Like days where I actually take the time to like put on a good outfit and like take care of myself, like I'd go into the day with such a more positive mindset and more positive towards just myself specifically. So I would say just self-care is a good self-love practice, and even just like journaling and getting out any of those like negative thoughts, I feel like can help you go into the day with like a more positive outlook too.
Yeah, journaling for sure, but then also podcasts, like even this podcast, like I constantly find myself trying to better myself through like education, educating myself on what skincare to use, like what to do to like make myself feel better, like going on social media and seeing what other people are doing to better themselves, working out, journaling, podcasts, like anything that's gonna like make me feel like I am like teaching myself to be better is like already tricking my mind into thinking that I am better.
Yeah,
like,
because even if you're not like 100%, like you're taking the steps, like you're making that progress, going in the right direction is just a way to make you feel better already.
Yeah, definitely. And honestly, I will say like career-wise, I have a photography business, and I find that devoting a ton of time into that and bettering my business, marketing myself, like, and getting new clients makes me feel so much better about myself, because I know that I'm like doing what I can to be great. By doing that, I like love myself more because I'm like trying to be a better photographer, like you know, like all that.
Yeah, just bettering yourself in general, because you never feel good when you have all these dreams and you're just like kind of putting them off and not going after them. It's like when you finally put the time in, you just like get this boost of like serotonin and you just feel better because you know like you're putting in that work for yourself.
Like I could sit back and be like, oh, like I want to be a full-time photographer. I want to do this. I want to be booking more clients. But like right now I'm actually taking that like change from like wanting to do that and actually doing it. Like before I was like, oh, I feel like my like client experience isn't as good, and like now I'm actually like investing time, money, and like all the things into having a better client experience. So like at the end of the day, like I just feel so much better about like where my business is heading because I'm actually trying. You know?
Yeah. Main takeaway from all of that is like just practices that make you feel like you're bettering yourself and just doing well for yourself are gonna help you boost that self-love.
Yeah, it like doesn't even need to be like a physical act of like,
no,
I'm gonna go to the gym and do this. Like it can just be like making a workout schedule, like anything like that. Just like planning for the future, planning ahead makes you feel better, and you'll like love yourself even more.
Yeah, I think self-love is something that's very hard to achieve, especially after going through a heartbreak. I wanted to talk a little bit about that and just kind of our experience and any advice that we can give on heartbreak. So I don't know if you want to start and just give any tips that you have personally.
Okay, guys. So,
let's get sad.
I definitely haven't had like a serious relationship that like really took like a big toll on me, which I feel like a lot of girls definitely do have that experience, and I think Reese can talk more about that. But I definitely want to highlight the fact that like even the smaller relationships, like the situationships, like that even last just like a month or two, maybe like a couple weeks even, like those need to be brought to people's attention more.
Yes.
Like that's a heartbreak too, guys. Like,
it's my least favorite thing when someone's like, oh, like, I'm sorry you guys broke up. Like, how long were you together? The person's like, oh, just like so-and-so months. Like someone treats it so different versus if you're like, oh, we were together for like 2-3 years, and they're like, oh my God.
Literally.
It doesn't matter timing wise how long they were together. It's more about like how the relationship was, the experience. Like someone could give you such a great experience and literally love bomb you in the matter of like weeks. So
we know
from experience. So so pretty much like treat every heartbreak the same and like give yourself the healing that you need. Don't kind of like try to avoid it and put it off as like, oh, you know, I'm okay, because deep down it's there and you need to like really heal from it in order to move on.
Definitely. In comparison to say my friends' relationships, like they've definitely been like long-term relationships that like really take a huge toll on them too. And then I have my like little situationship that was like a few weeks, and I'm like, I'm so sad, and like I just feel so stupid like thinking about that, but like it shouldn't be like that. Like I devoted so much time and energy into that person for a little bit of time.
So both like, of us at the same time.
Yeah, over the summer.
Yeah, we both were really just heartbroken after like our
at the same time
after our not even 1 month flings that we had, and we gossiped about, and we were super excited.
We were like literally both so excited. We were like, oh my God, it's our year. Like situationships, like we're gonna have boyfriends.
Yeah, no. Gone. Gone within seconds.
Yeah, gone within like literally days of each other.
Literally, look at us though. We're like ready for Valentine's and we're healed because we took the time to heal. I'm like, yeah, my summer situationship, and right now I'm in a great relationship. Yep.
I think my advice for healing after heartbreak, it's so much easier said than done, but like genuinely just reminding yourself like everything happens for a reason. You were not meant to be with this person. Like everything is saying it's like writing in the stars, you should not be with this person. And it's so hard to like come to terms with that because you envision a life with them, like you think it's going far, like you think all of these like things, like you romanticize it, but unfortunately sometimes that's not the case. And you really just have to like put your trust into the universe or God or like whoever you believe in, whatever higher up, and just really remember that what's meant to be for you will be.
Yeah. I also think like a lot of people hate when they get the advice from someone of like, it's gonna be okay, like you're gonna heal, because in that moment like it feels impossible, but you really need to believe that. Obviously hearing it from someone else, it's like, okay, like, but you don't understand. They might not fully be able to stand in your shoes and feel that feeling, but they're not wrong. Like it does take time, and for some people it might take longer than others, but just like knowing that it's going to heal, you're gonna be okay, is like the first realization you have to have in order to even have any healing.
Yeah. And definitely using resources. Like, there's so many resources out there to help you. Therapy is a big one. Like, I'm a huge advocate for therapy. I've been going to my therapist for years now. Like, I've loved every second. And just like talking those emotions out and like getting down to the root of the problem is so much, like, you can't do it on your own. Like, you need someone else there with you.
As much as you might want to. And that's something that I've always struggled with. Like, I'm not a very big, like, share my emotions with people person. I'm a big, like, let's suppress them all and then they're all going to come out later and be worse. So I'm still working on it. But I think it's really important to, like, use the people around you. Like, especially I am, like, so thankful to have a family who is very supportive and they're always trying to help me. So, like, not taking that for granted.
Like, you have such a support system, even if you don't think it. Your family, your friends, a therapist, like, literally everyone is there to listen to what you have to say and be there for you and guide you through the healing process. So don't, like, bottle it up and, like, try to get through it on your own, because you need to, like, let it out. You need to let it go. Once it's, like, out of your, like, heart and, like, out into the universe, like, even to, like, a friend, like, just like put your, like maybe, like, trauma dump for a second without, like, doing too much. That can, like it's just like a weight lifted off your shoulder almost. Yeah. That's why I like to trauma dump to my therapist.
Yes. Well, that's what the therapist is for.
You be dealing with this.
Her job is being trauma dumped on. So, I mean, take advantage of it and just get those feelings out. I think from personal experience, the best thing I was able to do for myself was, like, distract and, like, fully distance myself from that situation. There's one too many times where people, like, keep it kind of just, like, they don't put the situation fully away. It's still, like, right there, whether it's, like, you know, there's some little contact and, like, communication still happening, or they're still seeing them here and there, or, like, still looking at pictures here and there. It's like, you need to, like, go cold turkey on the situation, and you need to distract yourself with things that, like, make you happy. That was, like, for me, the only way I was able to heal from heartbreak. But I really think that when you have those setbacks, it slows the process down a lot, and it tricks your mind to thinking it's something you still need, when it's really not until you're, like, fully distanced from it that you can actually see, like, oh, I'm okay on my own. I didn't need that. And now I can see it because I'm with myself.
No, I love that. I've seen it through all my friends. Like, everyone, you'll hold on to, like, that little tiny thing that you think that, like, maybe one day you guys will, like, get back together. If it's meant to be, it will be. You guys viewing each other's Instagram stories, like, won't work. Like, that's, like, not gonna work.
Happy birthday your way back into their life. Just
no.
Don't even do it.
Like, we can't be doing that.
No, they don't even really want the happy birthday text. And
I know
you convince yourself you're, like, doing well by them by sending it. But honestly, like, they probably already have their other girls saying happy birthday too.
Real.
So
genuinely though, like, literally.
So honestly, just save yourself the time and the energy and just focus on yourself in those times. Distancing yourself fully is, like, the only way that you can truly heal.
Yeah. Because once you stop seeing their name pop up on your phone, once you stop finding yourself, like, checking your story views to see if they're, like, on their views, like, you'll find yourself so much more distance with the situation. Like, I'm totally a victim of doing that. I've definitely done that before. And now I'm at a point where, like, I don't even look for that anymore, because
because you're healed, girl.
Because I'm over it.
Because she's over it. Honestly, though, and then, like, the best part is, like, if you give yourself enough of that time, then there does come a time where you actually can view their stories and you can bump into them and you can feel okay, because they're just so far out of your mind at this point where you've come to a healthy point with them, if you do still want them to be a part of your life, depending on the situation, where you can really just actually see them as a friend. You can appreciate everything that you guys, you know, all the memories you made together in the past, but now you've moved on into another part of your life, and it's just because you gave yourself that healing process where it can work out that way. Period. Otherwise, like, you can't be doing the we're staying friends, stay in contact thing.
It'll never work.
It's not gonna work. No. And every time you get back with them, it's just not going to work. You need to give yourself, like, the full 100% healing time. I promise you, from experience.
Yep.
So when you get in this mindset of distancing yourself, focusing on yourself, self-love, everything we've talked about, you really can experience that shift from, like, chasing to actually attracting good things into your life. I don't know if you have any specific advice when it comes to that, or personal experiences.
Yeah. I'm like definitely in the mindset of like protecting my peace. Like
yes.
I am just like
oh my
so
God.
checked out right now. Like it is senior year. I am just so like not thinking about like guys, relationship, anything like that right now. So I feel like that gives off the same energy of like I don't chase, I attract. Like
yes.
I keep reminding myself like what is meant for me will find me. And when I am ready for a relationship, I will have a relationship, you know? And clearly I'm not ready right now.
No, and no good relationship comes from chasing. And
definitely.
It's like, it's funny because I feel like people are always like, oh, when I'm looking, there's nothing there. And then when I'm like over it, like something comes. But like you have to trust like what's coming to you is like what the universe is putting into your life for you.
Yeah.
And so you can't chase.
And also chasing is just so much work.
It's not fun. I'm
like,
sorry.
why would you want to do that, honestly? Like,
No.
I'm going to sit back and relax.
You're going to watch him chase.
Yeah, I'm going
or
to watch
her,
him chase.
Or whoever
or her,
is watching, you know?
Yes. And in the time that you're not chasing, like, you can be doing so many better things with your life. Like, working on yourself, loving yourself. Because once you love yourself, you'll find that, like, maybe a relationship will arise. And maybe, like, there'll be a guy standing or a girl standing, like, right in front of you when that wouldn't have happened before because you didn't love yourself, you know? So like it all goes hand in hand, but chasing is just so much work. Like, why don't you just sit back and relax and enjoy and
pour
watch
yourself
it
a glass of wine, come on, and they're gonna all come running in there. Like seriously. And I think that's like really what it takes to heal. Like I said, like you just gotta stop the chasing, sit back with yourself, appreciate yourself, and what's meant to come will come when it's meant to come. So you can't rush it either. You need to be patient and enjoy that time with yourself. Yeah. Because honestly, like sometimes, you can really love a person, but you miss that like time with yourself. And so appreciate it while you have it. Definitely. I feel like we're so young. Like if you're watching this and you're kind of like in our age group, it's like everyone's kind of rushing to have the perfect thing. And it's just like this whole stigma about like you need to be in a relationship at this time. But like one day we're going to be married. Exactly. And like enjoy just being with yourself right now, you know?
Like you're the youngest you will ever be right now. You're never going to get these days back. So like why spend them like longing for something that's going to happen eventually, right? You know?
But at the same time, like you can be in a relationship and that can be fulfilling for you too. You just need to recognize like where it's serving you and where it's not. Yeah. Because I think it's great. I see such great relationships at our age where, you know, they're still being able to have time with themselves, time with their significant other, and they're, you know, serving them. So I think it's just really important to like look at the relationship and kind of go from there.
Yeah. Like when I am in so deep in a situationship.
We love those.
Been in a relationship. When I'm in so deep in a situationship, I find myself like so focused on that and only that.
Oh my God, it's draining.
It's so draining. I lose sight of reality.
Like genuinely. They're like probably like situationships are crazy because like once you're in a relationship, like it's not really like that. Like when you get deep in enough where you trust each other and you guys have your own routine. But a situationship, it's like, oh my God, like your whole entire day is kind of revolving around that person.
No, literally.
But you lose sight of yourself.
It's like so sad, honestly.
Yeah. Especially when you're chasing, when you don't have like that reassurance from them yet. It's like, oh my God.
In respect to my situationship over the summer,
yes,
I found myself genuinely like every single day, like not even thinking about like myself and like what I want to do. I was like, what is he doing?
Yep.
Like why?
Yeah. And like moving your entire day around for that person too.
Oh my God, like entire month.
Yep. Like staying up all night.
Literally.
Just like they're
losing
like,
sleep.
You don't get enough time to talk to them during the day. Losing sleep. No more sleep. You don't even care. It's like they can't hang out today and you want to hang out today, but they can only hang out tomorrow. Oh no, we're moving the entire schedule
literally
around.
And then I'm like canceling on my friends, like wanting to like cancel photo shoots. Oh my God, it like actually gives me like literally trauma. Like, oh my God, that's awful. So like you shouldn't be having like move heaven and earth for this person who doesn't even want you to be your like actual like girlfriend or boyfriend, you know?
And that's where the heartbreak is harder because when that's over, you're like, wow, I just invested a lot into that before even like knowing what that was.
Ladies
Keep
and gents, boys
standards
and girls. High standards. Like,
yep.
Genuinely the highest you've ever thought.
Yep.
Like we will not be putting our standards low for these men or women.
No, I'm sorry, but like flowers to me is the bare minimum.
Furious.
If you are like, oh my God, you got me flowers. No, that like your vase should be full. Always. They should be keeping one of those petals to know when those flowers are dead and have the new ones ready for you.
Wow, Reese.
I'm serious.
I love that. Keeping one of the petals, like,
They should
no
know
guy would
they
ever.
should know when to replenish your flowers, and that should be something that's expected from a guy. You need to have high standards. When someone's giving you the bare minimum, you really just need to like step back, look at that, and be like, I am more than this. Like, I deserve more.
Think about, like, if one of your friends was treated the way you're treated. Like, would you be like, yes? Or would you be like,
Yeah.
So treat yourself the same way you treat your friends, you know? Like, I caught myself over the summer being like, he opened the door for me. I'm like, are you kidding me?
And I'm sorry, but that should be red flag number 1 if he does not open the door for you.
No, that's
just
like
run.
Okay.
Please run.
Okay. Keep your standards high, guys.
Keep them high, yeah. And, like, don't take the red flags, like, for granted, and, like, don't avoid those. Those are there for a reason.
Yeah, especially if you're like, oh, he or she did this, like, one thing, but, like, it's okay because he did this.
Yeah. No. That's how they get ya.
That's how you get heartbroken.
Yeah, for real. Yep.
Like, literally.
This Valentine's Day, if you do find yourself on a little date, we want to give you guys some healthy dating habits to navigate it the right way. What, like, has helped you throughout any sort of dating process that you've gone through? I know you've gone on some dates, girl. Don't even give me that look. But, like, what are some, like, healthy habits that, you know, going into it have allowed you to enjoy the dating process rather than it being this, like, big, stressful ordeal?
Okay, I can work with this. So I am a very anxious person, and I, like, find myself before I go on this date, like, literally getting myself so anxious to the point where, like, I want to puke. Like, literally, I'm like, I can't go anymore. Like, I'm not going.
Canceling.
Ever since I, like, have had that mindset, every time I go on the date, I'm like, I need to change that completely because this is, like, supposed to be a fun time where, like, I go get free drinks, get free food, like, get, like, a little, like, this is, like, supposed to be, like, a fun little time, you know? Like, it shouldn't be this, like, crazy thing where I'm like, I don't feel good, you know? This goes hand in hand with, like, the self-love vibe. Confidence.
Yes.
They pull up to pick you up in the driveway. You strut your stuff to that.
Oh, yeah.
You strut your stuff. You keep your head held high. I have, like, in the past, I've, like, been looking down on my phone. Like,
oh, my God.
No. I'm walking, like, not strutting, you know?
Yes.
Can't be doing that.
No. And I also think, like, with the whole going back to the red flags thing, if you're not feeling good vibes for the date, like, don't force yourself to go on this date. Like, I'm sorry, but they should be planning the whole date out. I'm, like, really throwing dicks. They should plan the whole date out for you because, you know, all you should be doing is walking out there, strutting yourself, feeling confident.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, but they need to plan this out. If they're being the person to ask you on this date and you're agreeing to it, they should have the red carpet rolled out for you, ready to go.
Wait, I love that.
Yeah.
Yes. Huge red flag is when they're like, where do you want to go? Like, what do you want to do? I'm like, you tell me where to be and what to wear.
Yeah.
Like,
you asked me on this date, so what do you want to do?
Yeah, and, like, that is such a green flag. Oh, my God. Like, immediately I'm, like, 10 times more excited when they're like, we're going here at this time. I'll pick you up at this time. And I'm like, okay, I'm planning my outfit.
Yes.
You know?
And that alone will allow you to feel more excited and, like, less stressed out about the date, too. Because it's like, okay, like, this is going to be good. It's going to be fun. So making sure first step is, like, that you're agreeing to this date, like, for the right reasons, that it's going to be fun and you feel good about it.
Yeah. And also try to remind yourself, like, it's really not that serious.
No.
Like, it genuinely does not need to be, like, this crazy thing where you're like, oh, my God, I'm going on a date with this person. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, that's the point. Like, go open-minded to, like, maybe this is my future husband. Maybe this is, like, the only date we're ever going to go on. But be open-minded to both sides because either way, it's, like, a fun experience, you know? All the dates I've been on in the past, some of them not so good, some of them, like, amazing, have shaped me into, like, how I feel about dating now.
That's
you know?
the thing. Like, go into it, yes, having your standards, having your guard up, this and that. But don't really go into it having expectations because sometimes the date's going to suck. And from that, you learn. You learn what you like. You learn what you don't. So take it as a positive thing still. But I think that when you go into it with these expectations, that's when you can kind of, like, get thrown down. And so going into it open-minded is the best way because, you know, maybe it'll exceed your expectations. And it just helps you overall to, like, learn a lot about what you like and just yourself in general.
Yeah, definitely. I've also tried to shift my perspective a lot to think of it not as, oh my God, I'm so nervous for this date. Like, it's going to be, like, so nerve-wracking. What am I going to say? What am I going to do? And more as, like, I'm just, like, talking with a person. Like, it doesn't need to be crazy. Like, I, for one, love, like, talking to people.
Yes.
Like, I'm such a yapper. as you guys probably know.
That has been like the last issue I've had on a date is like,
yeah, we're
we can talk. We're good. So that's a good way to like know too if the date's going well for us is like if we're chatting with them, like if they can chat back, we're like, okay.
Yes, you can keep up with the pace for sure. Yeah. So I kind of try to think of it more as like not like a scary date, but like I'm just going to go talk with this person and like get to know them and like meet a new person, you know, and like talk about myself. Like I love talking about myself, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
and like,
why not go and like brag about like how awesome you are, you know? Cause like you're awesome. You should be able to just like go and be like, this is what I do. This is how I am, blah, 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 blah. Like who cares what they think? Like, why don't you just go dress up cute and like get some free drinks and food?
Exactly.
You know?
And if they don't like that, if you show everything that you are and tell them all about you and they don't love it, then you don't want it. Then bye.
Yeah, then bye.
So
definitely.
I think healthy dating habit is like going into open-minded, learning to love the experience. Like no matter which way it goes in, like, yeah, it could be frustrating if you have like all these awful dates, but knowing that's like one step closer to like knowing what's right for you and like what you actually want.
Yes. And it should be a fun experience.
Yes.
Like I caught myself in the midst of all the dates being so anxious, like working myself up over it. And now I'm looking back at it being like, I wish I could just like go on a date right now because like it's so like it's a fun experience. Like you learn so much, not only about the other person, about like who you are. What do you like? What do you prefer? Why are you going? What are you looking for? You know, you just learn so much.
Yeah. I want to ask, what are some funny or awkward or just bad dating experiences that you've had?
Okay. Well, I won't get like a little bit, like I won't get too TMI because I definitely could like really get into it. But
text us later for the rest of the story. No.
But message me on Instagram and I'll tell you more.
Maybe we'll start a podcast, dating debrief, and
that would be funny.
We'll tell it all.
Wait, that'd be funny.
Let us know.
And you have some good ones.
Tell us yours.
Maybe like 2 or 3-ish years ago, probably 2. I went on this date with this guy to the beach. He was like into if he's listening to this, I'll like literally die.
That'll be great. This is the episode that goes viral.
No, I'll die.
Hey,
how are you doing?
Let's call him Nick. All right.
Okay, I went on this date with Nick. His name's not Nick, guys, just so you know. And he was like into photography, so we like went to the beach and like was like taking photos.
Was this when you were in photography too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So like I brought my camera and he like wanted me to like teach him how to use the camera.
Oh.
I'm gonna puke.
Oh no. Oh, Nick.
And we're like sitting down on the beach and it's like actually really cute and romantic and like a vibe. Like I'm vibing at this point. He's like super nice, super chill, super funny. Like the vibes are great. And like we go in for a kiss. We smooch. And everything is good. Like everything's fine.
Oh, okay. It's still good there.
He takes me home.
Okay.
No, what's wrong is after. I don't even know if I've ever told you this before.
I've never heard this one.
Okay, yeah.
I'm excited.
So then, oh my God. I can't believe I'm telling this. I go home and I text him or he texts me and he's like, thanks for a great night. Like had so much fun. Like I hope we can like hang out again. And I'm like, I don't say like the most like extravagant text message. I'm just like, yeah, me too. Like, thanks for like tonight too. Like something like low key. Like I'm not gonna like send like something crazy, you know?
Right. We're still testing the waters.
No. He did not like that.
No.
He was like, why do you hate me? He literally said, why do you hate me?
He was like, I have my ring already. Like,
and no, literally. And I was like, what do you mean? Why do you hate me? And he's like, oh, well, I was expecting like a 5-paragraph essay telling me how much like you had, how much fun you had, like all this, but like I guess like thanks will do. I'm like, no, you're kidding. You're kidding.
we're not.
He sends me that in all caps. All caps.
No.
The worst. It's like no, like red flag after red flag after red flag.
Yeah.
Like actually crazy.
That's like a blinking red flag. Like sometimes
like
you're
flashing.
like you're kind of like ignoring it. No.
I responded. I'm like, oh, like I didn't think I needed to say like that. Like I thought like when I kissed you goodbye, like it was like a clear enough sign that I had a good time. Like what? Oh. And then he's like, well, like you're going back to school and like I'm doing this, so like I feel like maybe we should like talk about it. And I'm like, we just went on
date number 1.
Literally one date. You just dropped me off. Like, hello, I've known you for 2 hours.
Oh my God.
Actually craziness. And then, oh my God. He goes, well, like, you're like the 3rd girl I've kissed and like I'm not that good at kissing.
Oh no. Bye. Bye.
No. Regulars. It was not
Run.
cool. It was not cool. I was like genuinely gasping for air at this point. I was like, holy shit, we cannot go any further.
Once you get the ick,
The
you cannot recover.
It wasn't
from
even
the
just the ick, Reese, though. It was like I was like puking.
You were like
literally.
you were sick.
Yeah. And then he's like still trying to like talk to me and like go back and forth being like, but this. And I'm like, if it's not clear that we're not right for each other at this point, like I don't know what to tell you, buddy.
It's the worst when
And
they
I
can't
blocked
just like
him.
take the hint, and you blocked him
And I blocked
as you
him.
should.
But then
Oh no.
another crazy thing. He starts like liking all my TikToks.
Oh.
I'm like, get away. What are you doing?
At the time or current?
At the time.
Okay.
At the time.
Is Nick like gone?
Nick's like gone.
Okay.
He's gone for sure. So I found this man on Hinge, by the way.
Okay.
I am on Hinge. Again, I'm like, gotta go back to the drawing board, find someone new. I'm on Hinge. His profile comes up with a different name. Like genuinely like a fake name. Like
Was it
trying
Nick?
No, it wasn't. I don't know what his like goal was there. Like was he trying to like get himself back out there to like maybe like I would see his profile
Again.
and I was
weird.
like, what? Weird. And then like I made a TikTok about him and I was like so I just like said something funny about it and he sends me that TikTok and he's like, this popped up on my page, like what? And I'm like, LOL, that's simply not about you.
And also like, why are you stalking me?
Literally.
Honestly,
And then I blocked him.
he probably like made that account so that like he probably ran through all these girls and
No, literally.
same thing happened and he's like, damn, like now I need to be a new person because I've run through everyone.
Yeah, I just like can't believe people's like, you're like the third girl I've kissed. I'm like, why would you say that, first of all? Second of all, ew, I want to run away.
Yeah.
I
actually
was so bad.
I can speak on kind of a similar experience from a date that I went on abroad, and you know this already.
Oh
but
my God.
let's call him. Not that I'm choosing to use this one because I don't think he would ever listen to this. But let's call him Earl. So honestly, date with Earl was like great. I mean, honestly, he didn't even take me to dinner. We just got drinks. So I take that as a red flag now that I look back. I'm like, you couldn't even feed me. But anyways, it went great. We went home. You know, the little kiss goodbye, whatever. That wasn't good. But anyways, I got past that in the moment. And then it was the whole like, when am I going to see you again? Like, just immediately was like
the love bomb.
It was a love bomb that like wasn't necessary in the time. And it's like, it's okay to like show the love. We had a lot of fun, but it was like a lot. It was like, okay, let's open up the calendar.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, let's not. And it was like, he was going on another trip and it was like, why didn't we plan this already? Out better where like I would see you again before I'm leaving. And like, I'm going to miss you. And I don't know. It was it was a lot.
Weird.
And if you're casually dating, it really depends on like your intentions going into like the dating life. But if you're going in there casual and they're not, just know already that that's not for you at that time and place.
Yes.
Like maybe down the road. But for me, I was like, nope.
Yeah. No.
Goodbye.
No.
But then I went home with another guy. Isn't that awkward? I didn't even care.
I saw him at the bar.
Yeah, she sees Earl at the bar. This was when we were both abroad.
Earl is flirting with my friends at
Yes,
the bar.
no, Earl's intentions weren't good.
Earl was not the vibe.
Yeah, so when they love bomb you and they like have other things going on, just know that's like,
yeah. You just have to like not be like oblivious to the red flags because it's like so clearly a red flag. And in that moment with my date, I was like still like, oh, but he was so sweet.
Yeah.
And like we would be so cute together. I'm like, he's crazy.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
no.
Like what?
And that's all part of the process. You have to go through those bad dates to know that's like not what you want.
Yes, for
Yeah.
sure. But then like on the other hand, like we've also had some great dates.
We've had some great dates, as we should.
As we should.
And sometimes even those aren't going to stick, and that's okay.
Mhm.
It shows
Like,
you
with
what you
the-
want.
Yeah, with the guy like over the summer, like I went on some really great dates with him.
Yeah.
Like it was a vibe.
Mhm.
And like we're not meant for each other, whatever, we're not talking, it's fine, but like it was still a great experience.
Yes.
You know?
And know that meeting the parents doesn't mean that's the end all. Just don't be fooled by that one.
Don't be fooled, guys.
Don't.
You're not in
Because
yet.
Peter did that one to me. So oh my god. Okay, we're done. No more digs. Anyways, we're so happy in the single life now, and we're also loving the dating life. So experience it. Don't miss out on that, but go into it only with like a positive and like strong-willed mindset. Like if you've just gone over a heartbreak, don't rush into that too soon either, because for me, like, it took a bit. Like, it went from heartbreak to like self to, okay, let's get back out there and like explore. And if you do it with that type of timing and give yourself what you need, then it's a good experience versus like getting heartbroken too quickly again.
Yeah. Take the time to love yourself. Take the time to experience the dating world, but don't take it too seriously, because it's not that serious, and you'll find yourself like not wanting to go on the dates, or like being traumatized from the dates, where like just sit back and laugh at it, you know? Like, right? It's funny.
Yeah.
Like, I could take that and be like, oh my God. But like, it's funny. Genuinely.
Yeah, in the moment it might not seem great, but like now when we like sit back and talk about it, I'm just like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, that was a part of the process. Oh, Earl. Oh, Peter. Oh, all of them. Those are not their names. Don't even worry.
Don't quote us on that.
Don't quote us on that. But yeah, if you guys want to see a dating debrief podcast.
Wait, like, we should really do that.
We might just start one. Just
comment down below.
Yep, comment, like, subscribe. What is the biggest piece of advice that you would give to listeners on how to shift from, you know, this being a time of loneliness if they're single and just like not having found their loved one yet, to just celebrating the single life and being empowered and self-love? How can we make that shift?
Shift your perspective from thinking of it as like such a dwelling time to romanticizing it.
Mm-hmm.
Romanticize like the time alone. Romanticize the holiday in general. Like, it doesn't have to be about like love and like, oh my God, like we're getting married. It can be like cute hearts and like cute decorations and stuff, and like Galentines, you know?
Yeah, if all you do is like buy yourself a pink sweater, like, okay, you celebrated.
Exactly.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Like,
and it doesn't have to be so like sad and all and like down all the time. It can be like a celebration of yourself, like loving yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like finding that like relationship with yourself is the first step. It's so important to have that like initial base of, you can be by yourself, you can be alone, you can be at peace with being single, and that's going to like allow you to really grow and really find who you're meant to be with eventually when the time is right.
Yeah. And honestly, like, celebrate with the girls, celebrate with whoever, you know, loved ones you have around you, because it's just such a fun, cute time. So take the time to celebrate it. Don't dwell on the loneliness. Sometimes people are in relationships and they still kind of lack that self-love. So if that is where you're at too, like, just make sure that that comes first, because you can't always be like providing for that person. Like we said, putting all your time and energy into it, it's draining. So I think the first step to this holiday is self-love, whether it's spending it with yourself, with your significant other, or with your friends. Loving yourself first.
Preach. I love it. You have all your life to like do everything you've always dreamed of, but like you'll never have like those Galentine's like moments like back. So like I'm like so excited to celebrate with my friends.
I know, me too.
I think I literally have a photo shoot on Valentine's Day.
Oh my God.
Like,
and you
no
love
better
that.
way. Literally.
No better
like,
way.
Spend the holiday doing what you love, and if that's like working out, if that's like partying, like do whatever you want to do that's going to fuel your soul and make you feel good about yourself, because it doesn't need to be like this like stereotyped holiday of like you need to have a boyfriend or girlfriend. Like, it doesn't have to be like that, you know? Like, shift that and make it your mission to celebrate it the way you want to.
Yes. Celebrate love. That's what the day's about. It's not about relationship. It's not about any of that. It's just about love. Whatever you love doing, love about yourself, love about others. It's the time to celebrate it. So I love being on here with you today. And
I love you.
I love you. I just love you. So this is already me celebrating early. I am so excited for Valentine's Day. I hope you guys are too. I hope this inspired you all. Thank you so much for coming on. Soph's going to be back on probably 1,000,000 times. We might even do our own thing.
No, literally.
A lot is coming from us.
We'll be traveling
the world.
Stay
tuned. We're traveling the world. We have so many big plans, but we love you all, and tune in next time.
Bye, regulars.
Bye.